welcome back to the Retro Review. I am the Bearded Geek. Joining me as always is Mikey the Freak. And Bebo. We have a special guest with us. It is Steve from the last podcast you'd want. Welcome, Steve.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me on. I loved having you guys on my show with a little time travel draft. So I'm happy to come on here and draft a little Christmas movies.
That's right. This is draft day. We were on Steve's podcast doing a draft day, and we liked that so much we brought him on our show, and we're going to do that. And we are going to do Christmas movies. Anything that has any part of Christmas movie in the movie is eligible. We picked the order before the show, and the order is Mike, Brian, Mikey the Freak, Bebo, me.
Age names only, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, kayfabe, bro.
Kayfabe.
Kayfabe, bro. Kayfabe.
But that is the order of it. We will pick 5 movies to draft each. It will be a serpentine draft. So here we go. Mikey the Freak, why don't you give us your first round draft pick, sir?
Ooh, been waiting for this one. We haven't really discussed this movie. We did do a sister movie on our podcast back in the day, probably the first 5 movies we ever did.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing it back, my favorite.
I'm already writing it down.
My favorite Lampoons is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Probably the most sarcastic movie out of all 4 of them. You finally get to meet their parents.
I don't know, Margot.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus was so funny.
Oh.
But yeah, you know, the most quotable National Lampoon's movie by far.
Shitter's
the
full.
most quotable.
Shitter's full. Yes.
Yeah, Shitter's full. That line alone.
Yeah, the greatest autograph I have on my wall of autos behind me. Randy Quaid from Christmas Vacation is Shitter's full. Perfect picture of him. But yeah, probably definitely the greatest Christmas movie in mind. My most favorite movie. If you haven't seen it, hopefully you have. Funny. Every single bit of it is sarcastic. You know, going from Randy Quaid and Brian Doyle Murray as his boss. You know, the funniest when he's trying to do the was it the cereal varnish? He gets his the milk, the cereal varnish for it. He's like, yeah, kiss the guys walking by, and they're like, yeah, happy Hanukkah, kiss my ass, kiss his ass, as they're walking by. So great scenes through the entire movie.
Awesome.
Leave that there.
Awesome. Bebo, what is your first round draft pick, sir?
It was a little bit of a debate on which one I was going to do, but I'm going to go with Gremlins, actually.
Gremlins.
Oh, that's always a good one.
It was on my list. Yeah.
Nothing's more Christmas special than little monsters that want to tear up your house, your home, and yourself.
Almost to tear your eyeballs out.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, 3 rules couldn't even respect that, for the little mogwai there, caused all kinds of trouble. Had the sequel, but the original movie I always loved, watching them try to save Gizmo, watching the, just the badass gremlins sitting there just wreaking havoc. And as I got older, just realized that was a movie about toddlers. Just saying. But what'd you guys think of Gremlins? I know y'all have seen it.
Dude,
I love it.
I love Gremlins. I used to have a
great movie.
A Gizmo Furby. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, so I used to love Gremlins. All right, now it is time for my pick, and I am going to go with Die Hard. I am being a parody of myself.
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Kidding.
No,
Kidding.
And
it is.
just like that, Mikey is no longer on Back to the Retro Review.
We are eliminated.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your new co-host of the Back to the Retro Review. My name is Steve. You can call me Stevie, though. You call me Stevie the Geek.
There you go. No, Die Hard's a great movie. We already talked about it. We discussed it on a previous podcast, so go back and check it out. Steve, you got the hot corner, sir. What is your number one draft pick?
Corner. I'm going to go easily, hands down, my favorite Christmas movie. And for me, the greatest telling of the story of Ebenezer Scrooge. And that is 1988's Bill Murray's Scrooged.
Oh, cross that off my list.
Yeah, crossing it off my list.
Yep, definitely.
Yep. It is, bro. Like, I absolutely love it. It's such a great cast. You get Bill Murray, you get Carol Kane, you get the guy that sings "Hot, Hot, Hot."
Was that Buster Poindexter?
Yeah, I think I think that's Buster Poindexter.
Yeah.
I think he's the cab driver. I may be right.
Yeah.
There's another
Ghost
actor.
of Christmas Past, I think he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also like the fairy one that just beats the shit out of him the whole time.
That's Carol Kane. That's
Carol
Carol
Kane.
Kane. Yeah. I have a massive crush on Carol Kane. So like I'm of course going to love this movie. No, I just think it's a great roundabout Christmas film, and the older you get, the more you can appreciate it as an adult, the more you get the adult jokes. I love movies that are kind of geared toward children but have adult jokes. I have a yearly Facebook quote that pops up. You can hardly see your nipples. And he's really looking.
Yeah, I love that. I love that thing.
I love that line.
And that's from Jack McGee. That's how much I love this movie. The actor says, "You can hardly see your nipples." His name is Jack McGee. He's also actually, I won't say the other movie that he's in because I believe it is also a Christmas movie. Going on to my second pick, has to easily be one of my mom's favorite Christmas movies. So long before TBS had a 24-hour viewing of it, we played it at our house every year. Bob Clark's 1983, A Christmas Story.
Yes.
I'm not saying that it's not a good movie, but because of them playing that shit 24 hours a day for the past umpteen years, I can't stand that movie any longer.
I honestly don't think I've watched it all the way through.
Okay, first off, that's blasphemy. Second off, can't stand it anymore just because they won't quit playing it.
I mean, maybe that's why. But I mean, because
I think the real problem is my parents like the movie so much that when that first started happening, they didn't mind just leaving that channel on and going about their business. So I'd be in my room and that's all I could hear on rotation, just over and over and over.
I will never watch that movie in the same way ever again. Thank you, jackass.
I worked a wrestling convention, and this gentleman sets up next to me. And like, as he's setting up, I look at my boss and I go like, is that the kid that got his tongue stuck to the pole?
Scott Schwartz,
in A Christmas Story? And he goes, yeah, that's Scott. And so I ended up just hanging out next to Scott Schwartz all day. And
we just saw him at a Comic-Con. And actually, we saw him last year. Maybe it was early last year. Yeah.
It was before I moved. It was before I moved, yeah.
Yeah, he is a very nice guy. And he's probably 5'2".
He's a super funny guy.
No,
he's so short.
Holy shit! But yeah, super nice guy. He hung out with all the guests and the people at the Comic-Con, and just shot the shit and just talked to him like nothing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But he very nice guy. Ended up getting an autograph for my father-in-law from him, so because that's his favorite movie as well.
Yeah, when I saw him, I ended up getting an autograph for my friends Ken and Terry. It's their like all-time favorite film.
Yeah.
And who cannot forget the leg lamp in that movie either?
True.
No.
All right, it is my second round draft pick, and I am going a bit off the board. I am taking Batman Returns. Batman Returns.
Oh,
that's a good one.
That was almost going to be my second pick.
I am taking it. Batman
That's a good one.
Returns. Yes, I mean Michael Keaton. Come on, Danny DeVito. It's
Christopher Walken.
yep.
Christopher Walken.
Paul Rubens,
It's
Yes.
Yeah.
Batman. Come
Pee
on,
Wee
he's
Herman.
Batman.
For those that don't know who Paul Rubens is, it's Pee Wee Herman.
There's not much else
Oh,
to
yeah.
go. Yeah.
I
Yes.
just love that he
I
played
have
the
a huge
father of the
autograph and a
Penguin.
meet and greet up there with him.
Yeah.
I do love the fact that he played the father of the Penguin not only in the movie but also in Gotham.
The TV
Gotham.
show.
Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. That is cool. All right,
That's a good one.
Bebo, what is your second round draft pick?
I'm gonna go classic and just go with the Charlie Brown Christmas special. You know, I'm a huge Peanuts fan. So that
Huge
You're
what?
what? Huge what?
Mikey, don't make me show the picture.
Hey, no. The Bearded Freak said the same
Yeah.
exact thing because we both, it went right in our mind. We're like, what the hell did he just say?
I'm just
I
saying.
get that.
Not saying, but I'm
Penis.
saying what we heard is not what you said.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that I understand.
And I think Steve heard the same thing.
But no, I've always been a fan of that particular. But no, I've always liked that movie. It's always been a classic
Holy
to me.
shit.
You know, it's something that's, you know, been around way before I was even born. So it's just
what
one of
brought
those
you into
movies-
this world.
Yes. But you know, it's a classic, just animation film that's on every year that I try and watch. I just like the movie itself.
Okay.
I love Peanuts too. It's good.
Yeah.
You like what?
Exactly.
He said Peanuts.
He said Peanuts.
Oh, I had the nuts in there.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Mikey the Freak, it is your
Oh,
second
God.
and third round pick, sir.
Oh, I love it. So
What, Peanuts?
I'm going. Yes, I love it. I'm going old school. I'm not sure if many people have seen this movie, but is the original Santa Claus from 1985 with Dudley Moore and John
Lithgow.
I loved that movie. It was so cool. The nuclear candy canes. So yeah, it's one of those movies where it's almost like it's a hidden gem. Dudley Moore was an A+ actor in his prime in the 80s, and with Arthur. And when he came out with this movie, I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot and I'll watch it. And it was a little corny, but highly entertaining. John Lithgow played the perfect villain, and he does the rest of his entire career, it seems. So a great movie if you haven't seen it. The Santa Claus 1985 with Dudley Moore and David Huddleston from Blazing Saddles played the Santa Claus. So that was always
you mean Lebowski?
yeah. Yeah. So very, very good movie. So check it out, definitely.
All right. What is your go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just have to say I love that pick.
Yeah.
I had thought about putting it on my list. I loved that movie as a child. Like I legit would reenact scenes when like all the elves were waking up and getting to work. Like me as a kid, I'm not even kidding, would lay on the couch, the music would hit, I'd get on up, I'd stomp in the kitchen, I'd stomp back out to the living room. Like I loved that movie. And if I could ever play a villain having to viciously eat something, it's going to be like John Lithgow when he's eating like that flying stuff. Like, oh, it's so good. I'm sorry, so good. Please go ahead. Sorry.
No problem. What is your third round draft pick, Mikey?
Also going 80s, staying with 80s, and I'm going with another classic, Trading Places.
Oh, you son of a!
That was my next pick.
It was mine too.
I
It was literally my next pick.
Oh, God damn it.
You're so slow.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, Eddie, I know you haven't. You need to get out more. Keep watching Penis. Yeah, Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis, Eddie Murphy. great, and Jim Belushi as the Santa Claus from that show in the little Christmas scene in that area. But great movie, definitely. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Classic comedy.
It's Jamie Lee Curtis in her prime. Of course, I've seen it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Wow. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. That's it.
Yes. Okay.
God damn it.
Oh, man.
Happy New Year.
Merry New Year.
Merry New Year.
And you get the principal from the Breakfast Club getting essentially raped by a gorilla and no one even thinking twice about it.
Yes. He's like, oh.
Oh, shoot.
His face knows exactly what's going on. Like,
You took my third round pick, man.
Yes. You took my third round pick.
Yes.
All right, Bebo. What is your third round draft pick?
Mine is gonna be my family's favorite Christmas movie of all time, with Dennis Leary, called The Ref. For anyone who hasn't seen that movie, basically a thief who ends up taking a family hostage for Christmas and kind of brings them all together in a weird way. Some of the greatest lines in a Christmas movie, in my opinion. The mother keeps one of the people in there, the mother played by Christine Baranski or something like that. She keeps hitting her kid throughout the movie, and at one point Dennis there, he looks over at her and goes, "Lady, if you hit that kid one more time, I'm gonna shove that pig's head right up your ass." So you know, it's a lot of sarcasm, which is probably why my family loves the movie so damn much.
Yes.
You know, it's a prerequisite to become a family member. But it's just a great movie. It's absolutely hysterical. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go check that one out.
Awesome. Okay, my third round pick would have to. Bad Santa. I'm gonna go Bad Santa.
Cross that one off my list.
Bad Santa.
I'll take that. That has one of the greatest lines that I've ever heard in a fucking line or in a movie.
Fuck me, Santa.
Yes, fuck me, Santa. Fuck me, Santa. Fuck me, yes. Yes. That, and I absolutely love. I want to say it's Cloris Leachman as the grandma, where they think she's dead. She's like, "Oh, do you want sandwiches?" And she just gets up and shuffles off to the kitchen. I watched that
Classic
movie.
Leachman.
Yes.
First time I ever did mushrooms, I ended up watching Bad Santa. It was a weird experience.
I can imagine. Oh, but Bernie Mac. I mean, come on.
And it's also the last movie of John Ritter.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
All right, Steve, hot corner for you, sir. Third and fourth.
I'm glad that I'm able to get this one. I was not able to get Trading Places, but I will take a movie that has one of my greatest connecting scenes to another universe of a movie that you have no idea if you don't know it. And that's the scene when a stack of money is handed to a homeless man on the side of the street. And I want to say it's Don Amici that looks at his brother and goes, "Mortimer, we're back." And that's Coming to America, 1988.
Yeah, yes, I do love that movie too.
Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall playing multiple characters. Like the barbershop scene, I once formed a friendship connection with someone just over the spoon joke. Yeah, like
funny, you bastards.
I do, and it's also a great quotable film. The royal penis is clean, Your Highness. Like who?
We can quote the entire movie.
Yes. I love that movie.
The entire movie.
And it's a great Sam Jackson pull. If you're ever going toe to toe with someone and you need to pull a great Sam Jackson movie out of your left pocket, that and Goodfellas are always a good deep cut. Oh shit! I said a pick. That is technically a Christmas movie.
I don't think. Oh, it's not on my list though.
Oh, good. Goodfellas.
Is that your number 4
pick? No, that
pick?
is not my next pick. No,
That's too late. You've already said
I'm writing down.
This is like Jeopardy. We can only take your first answer, sir. Sorry.
I am torn between for my fourth pick. I am torn between two holiday horror films.
Oh,
Ooh, okay.
If can you please spell horror for us? I'm just trying to make sure.
please.
HORROR.
Okay.
Horror.
Horror.
I added
Well,
an
peanuts and
in.
peanuts, we're still coming.
You know what? I if I can get it in the fifth, I'll grab it in the fifth. I'm gonna do the double Bob Clark special, and I'm gonna grab Black Christmas.
Okay.
The original.
That was on my runner-up list.
The original, not the remake or the remake of the remake. The original Black Christmas.
I've never seen it, so it's not on my list at all.
I saw it on the Christmas list, and I'm like, I've never seen that movie. I don't think.
And I love the fact that it's two like classic. I mean, I wouldn't call it a classic, but two different spectrums of the Christmas. You have A Christmas Story. You have Black Christmas. Same director. Same guy that did Porky's. Same director.
Gotcha. All three of them.
Bob Clark. Yeah. Unfortunately passed away, I believe, in a car accident.
Wow.
I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. And so, yeah, that's Black Christmas. It's a sorority of girls that get killed. You know, I'm like, I want to
I'll watch it. That's good.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah. And it's been remade like 100 times.
You got me a sorority of girls.
Has.
I'll watch.
There you go. I'm sure there's boobies in it. Okay.
Today.
I'm gonna take Shazam. I'll take Shazam.
You're
Man.
I'm mad. I'm mad at myself that I didn't even think of Shazam.
Isn't that like your favorite DC movie?
It is. It is my favorite DC movie.
Yeah, Shazam. It was during Christmas. I mean, why not? I mean, everybody's still in all my other movies, so I'll take Shazam. I will take Shazam. I mean, it's a good movie. It's one of the better DC movies that have been put out. It's lighter it's not as dark as some, Man of Steel and stuff like that. So it has a lighter feel to it. So Shazam off the board.
Yeah, very good movie. Funny. I like that movie. That was a good
movie. Yeah.
And I can't wait for the second one to come out.
And
Shazam
it's got a great ending scene.
Yes.
Yes, very much. Yes.
I mean, it's got a lot of great things, and I'm not gonna lie. Every time, I'll just say my 2 cents on Shazam, since I'm mad I didn't think of it. Every time I watch that movie, I have no problem in saying that I'm so in touch with myself. I do cry, like when all of his brothers and sisters, when they all get the powers, and it just makes me think of like my brothers, and it's just like it makes me think of family and ones that I've lost, and it makes me cry like a little girl every time. But I have no problem saying that.
Oh, that's fine. I mean,
I'm a man. I do manly thing.
Look, if I get into a movie, I have no problem shedding a tear or two. Especially the older I get. The older I get, the more I seem to get like that. I don't like it.
You have kids. We all have kids now.
That's true.
There is an emotional connection with all these movies now, and that's why.
Well, most of us have kids.
Two of you have kids.
Yeah, 2 of you have kids.
50%.
50%.
Mine is just cold-hearted all the way around. So it's good.
Bebo doesn't have any kids that he knows of. That's the difference.
There you go. That's the problem.
Yes, there you go.
So Bebo the play. Bebo the pimp.
He knows you very well. How did I know?
All right, Bebo, what is your 4th round draft pick, sir?
So my 4th round draft pick, or I can't even fucking talk tonight. I'm so tired. Draft pick is kind of an older one for me. Trapped in Paradise. Very good Christmas movie with Nicolas Cage, John Lovitz, and Dana Carvey. Extremely funny movie in my opinion. Absolutely love that. Don't do that to me, Mikey. Sorry guys, Mikey just sent me a message. Not appropriate for this. But Trapped in Paradise is a very funny movie. You have 2 brothers who just got out of prison, basically coming to visit their brother who is an ex-thief and is out of the life, and basically they con him and basically bring him into a bank robbery. all kinds of hilariousness ensues, but it's a really good movie. Go check it out if you have not seen it. I don't know if any of you guys have, but it is a good movie.
Yep.
Very funny movie. Very funny movie.
I have not seen it, but the description almost put me to sleep. Mikey, what is your third round? What is your fourth round draft pick?
What? I'm sorry.
Your fourth and fifth.
Yes. I'm going. It's not really old school, but this series of movies has Christmas in almost every single one for sequels. But the movie I'm picking out of it is the Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Huge Christmas scene with the Yule dance. The Yule. I know. The Yule dance. We just came from Universal, and they have a huge room in their shop that is nothing but decked out in white, and it looks like the entire place has been iced over, just like in the movie with the fireplace and the ice coming down. So it made me think of that movie. Every one of them kind of has a little sense of Christmas because they do go into the holidays, but that one just pronounces the Christmas a lot more and showcases it because the dance is around that time. But great movie. I know everybody's seen Harry Potter's, but that's one of my favorite Harry Potters of all time is actually Goblet of Fire.
Right.
Me too.
Yeah.
Your fifth and final, sir.
Man, I got so many good ones.
Here comes another fucking Harry Potter.
No.
My only question about Harry Potter is it's supposed to take place in the 90s, and they never once mention Michael Jordan and his run on the Bulls is just absolute bullshit.
Harry Potter's just Star Wars with sucky lightsabers.
I've seen that. I have seen that.
Too funny. I think I'm going with a classic, not really old school
Classic
either.
to everyone or just to you?
Shut up. Look, I've got old movies on here, but I think I'm still staying with the comedy, and the great rendition of this one is a different told type of story. But I'm going with How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey.
I'm begging y'all not to pick my last one.
No, I've got so many to choose from, but I like Jim Carrey's rendition of the Grinch just because he made it very comedic, and you still got the point across. And he just does Christmas. Yeah, exactly. He takes everything so over the top, and I think that character fit his regular personality the best, just like Ace Ventura did. Yeah. Goofy, corny, laugh, jokes. So the Grinch was probably one of his best characters that he played. And How the Grinch Stole Christmas and Whoville is always a great Christmas time story.
My favorite thing is Jim Carrey was talking about after he did that movie. I think it was like a lady came up to him and asked him to do the Grinch for a kid or something like that, and he made the face, and she goes, "Oh, I thought that was computer animated."
Oh shit!
Because of how he's able to just do stuff with his face, and he did it on the thing. He actually made the face, and it's like it didn't take a lot of makeup for him to become the Grinch. No. That was pretty much just him.
Change his nose and spray paint him green.
Basically,
pretty much.
The one thing I love about living in California is Universal Studios and the Hollywood Tour, in which you just drive past the Whoville set.
Oh.
You literally just drive by part of the set of where they filmed it. And they love telling when they were filming at Universal Studios in Hollywood where they filmed it, Jim Carrey, when he wasn't in makeup and everything, would wear a full robe and a wig and hide in the Bates Motel hotel, and as they were driving by would run out with a butcher knife and jump on the side of the tram.
That sounds about right.
That's good.
Oh, if I had a time machine, I know where I'm going.
All right.
Woodstock. I'm going to Woodstock. And I'm avoiding the brown acid. I have watched history tapes of that.
All right, Bebo, what is your fifth and final pick, sir?
My fifth and final pick. The movie itself, not a great movie. I'm literally just picking this because it is my favorite rendition of Santa, and it's somewhat new, and that's the Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell. I just like his actual look of Santa in the movie.
You wait, so you mean essentially Kurt Russell from The Thing in 1980?
Yes.
Something?
No, because in this one it's great.
It's just an evolved. It's the same guy. Like, it's just the long hair and a beard, but now it's just white. I'm sorry. I saw that meme the other day, and it's just stuck with me.
I still haven't seen it.
I refuse to see it because of my mother-in-law. Anything that my mother-in-law like loves, she will just play on a loop.
Oh, jeez.
So I've never seen that movie, but guess what? I've fucking seen that movie.
All right. Well, my fifth and final pick is Edward Scissorhands. I'm going Edward Scissorhands. Where I'm from and where Mikey the Freak and Bebo are, half of that movie was shot 10 minutes away. I mean, the mall, the Southgate is still there. Every time you pass by it, I still think Edward Scissorhands.
Yep.
I point that out to people that are in the car that are like visiting or something, like, hey, Edward Scissorhands was shot there.
Yeah. So what? Quick story. I took my kids. We were down there at the Coliseum Comics right there downtown on South Florida. And as we left, it was funny because the day or two before we had just seen Edward Scissorhands, and I kind of pointed some stuff out in the movie. I'm like, oh yeah, that was there. And you know, there's several movies that's been shot at the Southgate Publix, but when we drove over there, I kind of had that like, hey, this is the scene, and I pulled it up on my phone. So it was very cool rendition and trying to reminisce on where they were eating lunch right there at the corner, the little breakfast house there, and then at the actual parlor right there in the corner. So I kind of showed them a little bit with that and kind of did this. They were like, oh, that's cool. So it's always good to pass down that kind of knowledge, and what they watch, they can
see
physically. I've been there. It's like I've been there, and they can pass that on, you know, for all time. So
you said a short story.
Shut up.
Too late.
Long story short.
Too late.
There you go. And Steve, what is your fifth and final pick, sir?
Oh man, so I would like to pick the episode of Major Dad where the kid wants the little geckos and Santa ends up bringing them in the Christmas tree as ornaments. No, I'm just kidding. I wanted to make that joke since my first pick, and every time I forgot. So then I with big asterisks around it.
Insert joke here.
Yeah. I recorded like an episode of Remember the Titans with my friend, and the entire time I enjoyed the movie more than I expected, and I wanted to be like, I'm not sure where this fits in with Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans, but it's a really fun movie. So I just forgot to make that joke there. My movie that I am taking for my fifth and final pick, there are a lot of great ones out on the board. I have to say there are a lot of great picks on the board. And you say that as long as it involves Christmas, we can pick it.
Yes.
Oh no.
I am picking 1996 vehicle with one Pauly Shore and Stephen Baldwin, Biodome.
Oh wow.
You know what? That's a great pick. That's almost like the last draft that
yeah, it's almost like Galaxy Quest.
Yep, that's just like Galaxy Quest. Oh, okay.
And I was racking my brain because as you were telling your Edward Scissorhands story, I was racking my brain and I was like, oh God, it's a movie where it's a collage of holidays that are passing as they're stuck somewhere. Biodome, it's Biodome.
There you go. Hey, it made the list. It made the list. So to recap, we have Mikey the Freak. He started with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Santa Claus, the 1985 version, Trading Places, Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Bebo, he chose Gremlins, Charlie Brown Christmas, The Ref, Trapped in Paradise, and The Christmas Chronicles. I had the best list at Die Hard, Batman Returns, Bad Santa, Shazam, and Edward Scissorhands. While our guest Steve, he picked Scrooged, which kind of pissed me off, A Christmas Story, Coming to America, Black Christmas, and Biodome. Do we have any honorable mentions anybody want to put up?
Yes. I'd like to go with two, if that's okay. Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Very good with Lethal Weapon, and Jingle All the Way.
Turbo
I
Man.
was surprised somebody didn't pick Jingle All the Way because that's usually one that comes up.
Jack McGee was in Lethal Weapon 2.
Oh, there you go.
But before you two came on, me and the Bearded Geek were talking about picks and stuff, and I had mentioned Lethal Weapon, so I'm right there with you on that. I've got two just kind of honorable mentions. Even though you chose How the Grinch Stole Christmas, I always like Dr. Seuss's the animated version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's one I usually try to watch every year as well. I did make a mistake one time of trying to jokingly pick up the book and try and read it real quick, and that bitch is longer than I thought when I started reading that. For it being a kid's book and only having 2 to 3 lines on a fucking page, I sat and I'm like, Jesus Christ, how long is this thing? And one movie it's just a movie I enjoy. I love Jack Black in it, and that's The Holiday.
Okay. Steve, do you have any honorable mentions you want to go ahead and throw out there?
Yeah, the other the other Christmas horror movie I was debating on was Krampus.
I was thinking
that's a good one.
Ernest Saves Christmas, I think is always a classic.
I should have chose that one.
And I had the sequel. I prefer the sequel over the first one. I had Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Yeah.
There you go. I have a couple too: Home Alone, Elf, and Polar Express for some classic.
That's my
Christmas.
list.
Honorable mentions.
I did have Miracle on 34th Street, the original. That was always a good classic one from the 1940s.
Yeah, any of the classic ones are going to be good ones to choose. But let's face it, when we do these,
I could have picked Rent.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Yep. We like to go a little bit in left field when we do these drafts.
Anytime we do this, you can always see us. Like most people are like, "Well, the Elf, Home Alone," and then you have us, and we're like, Edward Scissorhands,
Biodome. So Steve, thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for being here and returning the favor, if you will.
Hey, no, thanks for having me on. I had a blast. I loved putting this list together, even though you took 2 of my picks and a pick that I should have thought of. Yeah. I had a blast. Thank you so much for having me on.
Not a problem, man. So I do believe that does it for this episode of Back to the Retro Review. So for Steve, Bebo, Mikey the Freak, I am the Bearded Geek, saying keep it retro, everybody.
Thumbin'.
Give us a thumbin'.
Yeah, give us a thumbin'. Whatever.